There's more great viewing on the horizon in HTV's new season. Riding into the picture, it's Ken Boone and his silver machine.
Bombs, mate! We are going to get on our bikes and ride.
North and South 2, the saga continues.
I never wanted this war.
I'm not ready to say goodbye.
A new series of tales of the unexpected.
I'm resigning as Verger.
Resigning?
November brings the Royal Variety performance. The stars gather to celebrate the most prestigious show business event of the year. And there's comedy in a new series of Home to Roost.
What's that? That's the alarm I pressed there.
What? Dempsey and Makepeace back in action.
It's you looking after me, kid. Step on it.
The new season forecasts continuing fine entertainment here on HTV.
HTV is looking forward to a triple bill of Bond, all with Roger Moore as 007. We're off to a flying start with the television premiere of Octopussy.
I'm Octopussy, and you are James Bond.
Bond faces the ultimate challenge in The Man with the Golden Gun.
You're not thinking that.
I sure am, boy.
In Moonraker, some sensible advice.
Hang on, James.
The thought had occurred to me.
The cable weakens. HTV brings you a Bond season.
At the Plymouth Evening Herald, something very interesting has taken shape. It's turned from a big newspaper into a smaller, more compact size, with an extra supplement tomorrow to handle motoring matters and help you find exactly the car you're looking for. The new Handy Herald. Get your hands on one tomorrow.
You call it squeeze and sniff, but like all silage analysis, it's hit and miss. Until now. Now BOCM Silcock announced the big breakthrough in silage analysis that gives you the true feed value of your silage. And so you can match it exactly with the right feeds, we've developed Dairy Match, a specially formulated range of complementary feeds. Together they balance the cow's diet to give healthier, more economic feeding and bigger profits. BOCM Silcock Dairy Match, a new range of feeds to complement your silage.
Big kitchens, small kitchens, designed by computer with famous name appliances.
Dream Home Centers, more on display with less to pay.
Same with showers and brand name bathrooms. Styles and shades to suit your home.
Dream Home Centers, more on display with less to pay.
Bridge End, Caerphilly and Porth.
There's a new way to buy. The Orbit way. Step through the door and experience a vision of the future. The distinctive look of Orbit promises you that it's going to be very different. For style, service, selection, and of course the right price, you'll find it's truly out of this world. Orbit, a vision of the future.
HTV is looking forward to bringing you the brightest and best in television entertainment. Young men challenge the gang bosses in the fear.
You're dead, Jimmy. Go find me Dad. Get him to send someone down for me.
Do what?
Just do it.
The hard cases are coming.
Just come into my office with me, please. Just keep your bloody hands off me.
Where have you seen this chap before?
Whose is your worst enemy?
Watch this. But you've always said, love your enemy.
If you're watching, you're laughing. If you're laughing, you're watching. And you'll recognize Freddie Mercury, or maybe it's Bobby Davro, and then maybe it's not. Newspapers are funny things, the people who run them even funnier.
You know what a tissue of lies all this is, Russell? Yes, Dickie? Yes, I know, because Sooty told me.
Funny thing, television, but HTV knows that. Stay with it.
India. Which India will you fall in love with?
Codename Kirill. Deserted Moscow Center seeking British contact.
You will defect. My own inclination is to liquidate him fast.
I'll have to kill him.
Edward Woodward and Ian Charleson starring Codename Kirill. coming soon on HTV. Codename Kirill continues tonight.
I have a job for you in England. It will be very quick.
Get out! You're sacked, okay?
I mean, how many sources do you have at Moscow Center, for God's sake?
The traitor is covering his back.
This is a trap. You are the bait, and I am going to get you both.
Codename Kirill concludes tonight at 9 o'clock and 10:35 on HTV.
Gastric mucus plays an important part in protecting the stomach wall from the varying impact of diet, the acid and peptic activity of gastric secretions, and from the occasional effects of drug therapy. Prostaglandins, a series of fatty acids present in a wide variety of body tissues, are essential for the production of the protective gastric mucus. They also modulate the blood supply to the gastric mucosa and contribute to the maintenance of the optimal pH of the mucus layer. In a quite different role, the prostaglandins are mediators of the inflammatory process characteristic of rheumatoid arthritis, acute musculoskeletal disease, and most recently recognized, the inflammatory component of osteoarthritis.
Chief ski instructor and international speed skier Iona McClure has many championships to her name. Whilst competing in France during 1987 as a member of the Smirnoff speed team, she fell at over 110 miles per hour. Due to the injuries she received, it may be 2 years before she'll be able to take up the challenge once more to be the fastest woman in the world on skis.
Penwythnos yma, ymwelwch â catyniadau hanesyddol De Cymru fel Abati Tindern, Nai Gas Gwynt, y castell cyntaf i gael godi i'w gerig, Castell Caerffili fel rhyw gawr cysglyd, Castell Coch, Castell Tylwyth Teg Cymru, Castell Cydweli am ddiffynfa'r gorllewin, neu ysblander canoloesol Palace yr Esgob Tyddewi, a tyniadau hanesyddol De Cymru sydd yng ngofal cadw, ond yn rhan o'n treftadaeth ac arain trothwyni bob un.
Croeso i Gymru. Welcome to Wales on a very big day for rugby football. Good afternoon from a rather cold and miserable Cardiff Arms Park, but the atmosphere is certainly warm and friendly for this unique rugby occasion. The WDA British Airways Sport Aid 7s. It's the first
Gregory.
HTV Production Services, where you call the shots. HTV Production Services was formed as a limited company in November 1988 with assets of more than £30 million. It is the facilities arm of HTV Group, the public company which holds the franchise for the dual ITV region of Wales and the West of England. The 500-plus staff of Production Services have been making programs for HTV since 1968. Now, for the first time, their skills and experience and the huge resources which back them up are available to independent producers.
Hey, ho, my man, hey, dapper Dan, you both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed. Though you may wear the best, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Smile, 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 darling, smile. If a man don't understand you, no. If you fly on separate ways, well, now, waste no time, make a change right now. Ride that man right off your range. Rock him out of your roll call. Talk him out of your dreams. I'm gonna watch that man right out of my head. I'm gonna watch that man right out of my head. Watch that man right out of my head. Send him on his way.
HTV has built up an enviable reputation for the quality of its programs and the efficiency of its operations. Our regular production output is the highest of any company on the independent television network. Culverhouse Cross on the western outskirts of Cardiff was opened in August 1984 as the most modern television centre in Europe. This is both the home of HTV Group and the headquarters of Production Services. We have hosted numerous international stars at Culverhouse Cross in a variety of different programs.
I'm coming to you on a dusty road.
And some talented newcomers too, on a magnificent set that brought Victorian London to Cardiff. We have our own scenery construction workshops set in the new Cardiff Bay development and can hire out sets as well as building them. Our international productions, like this one of The Little Match Girl, brought us the Queen's Award for Export Achievement in 1986. At the local end of the programme scale, Eleanor Jones introduces the S4C audience to some of her guests in Welsh.
I have just received orders to join the 2nd Manchesters at Etaples. This is a regular regiment.
For this evocation of Wilfred Owen's writing, an impression of the trenches of the First World War was created in the studio.
I shall actually be at the front. 9th January. 2nd Manchester Regiment, British Expeditionary Force. I have not been at the front. I've been in front of it.
But if it's floor space you want, we've got that too. Up to 7,000 square feet of it in the main studio.
Make one man weep, make another man sing. Change your heart to a little white dove. More than a feeling, that's the power of love.
Miss Easter, Helen Campbell.
Special effects were used to brighten up a quiz setting.
A croeso I Pentagon, wel dyma'r quiz lle mae arian mawr ar gael a gwobrau hael hefyd.
And something more floral for the geisha girls. A large audience for a public service program? No problem. We have plenty of room for them. And if it's a conference, a presentation, or a closed-circuit hookup, we'll be glad to handle that too.
National Business Awards for 1988.
Once again, there's been a bumper entry with more than 100 submissions in all. And shortly, they'll know whether their names will appear on our annual roll call for the best in Welsh business.
Or something more ghoulish, courtesy of the makeup department. The resources are here, so are the staff, their skills, talent and imagination, just waiting to be tapped. The rest is up to the customer, as he calls the shots. That was Culverhouse Cross. This is Pontcanna, enjoying a new lease of life as the market opens up.
27.
Situated in Parkland, less than a mile from the centre of Cardiff, Pontcanna is home to HTV's news service for Wales and also houses Production Services Equipment Hire Division. It offers 2 production studios and a full range of production and post-production facilities for both film and video. Pontcanna also provides a studio for the Welsh children's village of Falabalam and is increasingly catching the eye of independent producers. Margaret Williams was the star of a lavish musical series produced at the refurbished Pontcanna for the independent company Dufferin Film and Video Productions. The scale of the project speaks for itself. Out and about, our OB crews have been busy too. We can put 4 different OB units on the road, each equipped to a different scale for different types of job. Drama, religious programs, sport of all sorts, each bringing its own particular challenges to be met, action to be captured. Our Pontcanna has 6 cameras on board. You can offer multi-track sound and a full set of microwave mix. Just what you want back, wherever you want. The one and only Shirley Bassey at St David's Hall, Cardiff, on one of our regular visits there. A 1,000 male voices assembled in an aircraft hangar in North Wales for a traditional celebration. And organised chaos around the conductor at the last night of the Welsh Proms. But if you want the greater flexibility of handheld video cameras, we can provide that too. Here's a recent example of the determined reporter in pursuit of the reluctant subject.
Mr. Tregenner, I just want to ask you how you came to know Mr. Quinn.
You can also use our PSC cameras in combination to provide multi-camera shooting at minimum cost. as seen here during rehearsals for the musical 42nd Street. From the London stage to a PSC camera above the flickering lights of Manhattan.
The largest electrical grids in the world becomes one gigantic Christmas tree. Forget the crowds, forget the fumes, you can even forget the litter. This is the moment when you look at the brochures and nod in agreement. It's what you dream about, and it really does exist.
But there will always be those who prefer the special look and atmosphere you get only on film. And here too, the staff of production services can be relied on to deliver the goods. More than 20 years of hard experience in all weathers has polished the reputation of our documentary teams. These are just a few recent examples of their work. This was a supply drop to the starving peasants of Ethiopia, accompanied on this occasion by a production services film crew.
15. Power is good.
Fires.
Back to major drama for the international market and a co-production with Canada of A Child's Christmas in Wales. Our design team took over a Welsh village and turned back the clock.
And soon the fire engine came and 3 tall men in helmets brought a hose into the house. Mr. Prothero got out just in time before they turned it on.
Gloucester docks were redressed by the designer to provide this setting for our international series, Return to Treasure Island.
Raise the yards to port. Raise the yards to port! Raise the yards to port! Unbrail the spanker. Unbrail the spanker! Unbrail the spanker! All hands to the braces! All hands to the braces!
Brian Blessed played Long John Silver, and Jamaica was the location for some of the more dramatic scenes. Wall of Tyranny took us into 35mm. We recreated Checkpoint Charlie and the Berlin Wall in the Dockland area of Bradford, with a largely transatlantic cast.
Feet from the wire. This is an illegal barrier. We cannot guarantee your safety unless you move back 100 feet from the wire.
Roll forward, Ross. 10 feet.
Prepare to return fire. Okay now, Ross. Roll forward. I want your headlights on that wire. If you move further, we will fire.
Safely back to the Welsh countryside for the drama series We Are Seven. The sheep were genuine enough, but the rest was another production services transformation job. Our latest films for the international market are still in production. The admin block at Culverhouse Cross stood in as an architect's office as we filmed for the third in a series of thrillers based on the novels of Patricia Highsmith. 35mm again, and the very latest camera equipment on the market. Whatever it takes, if you want it, we'll provide it, and at reasonable prices. And to enhance the image, the magic of modern graphics. Here are just a few of the computerized effects that have been tumbling out of our graphics department and VT edit suites. This is where you really call the shots, for only your imagination sets the limit. When you've got a program to make it your best shot with HTV Production Services. Thanks for your attention. We hope we'll soon have the pleasure of your business.
All kinds of people in all kinds of places read Spec, Wales's TV guide. This week, Spec takes a look at a different world, that of American comedy spin-offs. Maggie faces a dilemma. Back home, the Welsh confront the Irish. Live rugby coverage as usual on S4C. On Sunday, change of mood. Stuart Burrows presents the best of Welsh music in the first of a new series. Full details about these programmes and more in Spec, on sale every week for 25p and free every Thursday with a Western Mail.
Very poor.
Very poor. You wouldn't let it lie.
You wouldn't.
Take it up, fallen. Thank you very much, Vic and Bob. I like the 10% of the audience who's sitting there going... I got punters because the night is so far from over, it's almost just begun, whether you like it or not. Guy over there's just fainted. Is that right, Griff?
Yes, unfortunately it is. What is the time? Good Lord. Beam me up, Scotty. No, but seriously, folks, before all the fun really takes off, with Fry and Laurie, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, the Desmonds, Laurel and Hardy, and hundreds of others, apparently, at last, after a very, very long wait indeed, we are proud to present Fulchester's top TV personality, yes? And somewhere around 1 o'clock, it's time for... Melly at Midnight!
Hello, and welcome to Melly at Midnight, the part of the show you've all been waiting for. Never mind all those bollock awful clowns back in London, eh? Now for some real entertainment presented by a professional. We've got some great fun lined up, and it's all, of course, for, charity. We've got Strip for the Starving Millions, where I'll be asking famous celebrities to get their kits off to raise cash. And later on, we'll be spinning the Wheel of Famine and inviting studio guests to answer questions. And for each correct answer, we'll be sending a loaf of bread to Africa.
But first of all, we've got a special surprise lined up for you. A mate of mine, satellite TV, got hold of one of them Italian porn shows. You know, the ones where the housewives strip off. I've already seen it, and it's red hot, I can tell you. So let's roll VT, sit back and enjoy some hardcore porn.
I'm sorry, Roger, you can't show that, man. This is a charity show.
Oh, bollocks, it's just a bit of fun.
I'm sorry, Roger, no, we've not got a lot of time. We're supposed to be raising money here.
OK, I'll give you 50 quid if Esther Ranson takes her tits out.
OK.
I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Roger there. Because, unfortunately, Fulchester TV seems to have gone down. I mean, it's finished for the rest of the evening.
Now, for a moment, let's return to the UK. At the start of the year, we decided